Okay, so where we left off is we now have a strategy model that's weighted at the perspective level. So we have 4 numbers, 1 for each of the 4 perspectives. Our task now is to take the team through the activity of taking each of those perspectives totals and allocating it across the objectives associated with it. So in this case, we have 20% to allocate across these 3 objectives. So same thing, we have everyone write down their weights on a scrap of paper, and then we note them up, making sure that we ask the leader for their score last. In this case, we end up with a score distribution like this that has the average of 6, 6, and 9. Now, if you want, you can actually use the conditional formatting inside Excel to show sort of an internal bar graph of what the scores look like. And if you train your eye, it's kind of interesting because you can now visually see the distribution scores across any one of these strategic objectives. Again, we facilitate a conversation where we encourage those with the highest score, in this case 10s for example, and the lowest scores, in this case 1, to share with the team where their thinking came from. In many cases, that one person's thinking will help influence the whole team. In this case, we moved to 8, 5, and 7, so a significant adjustment in the weighting. And again, we repeat this with each strategic objective. Here, the average was 10, 4, 9, and 7, but after debate, we end up with 8, 3, which is relatively close, 14, significantly pushed higher on establish our energy portfolio, and 5. Here, average was 15, 6, 5, 5, and 9. We pushed that up to 20, and this up to 10, which is roughly the average, but these two moved down, 3 and 3. So again, the idea is you erase the previous scores. They're done. We've had that conversation. We've reached an agreement. Physically take it off the board so people recognize that you can't go back. Finally, we end up with a weighted strategy map. So the strategy map that we began with, we can now begin applying weightings to based on that conversation. And in this case, if I were to color the objectives that ended up having a higher weighting of, say, 8 or a higher, what we see is we have a strategy around leveraging technology and attracting people with the overall goal of establishing our energy portfolio and pursuing operational excellence in aid of helping us connect customers better. That's connect to and connect with customers and building the brand. So clearly we now understand where our priorities are for the coming year. To learn more about this and other concepts, please join us at pm2consulting.com.